Prince Harry behind the curve with no actions on Ukraine war, unlike Prince William. Prince Harry is dubbed insensitive during his NAACP speech over Ukraine war with Meghan Markle. Royal historian Dr Tessa Dunlop notes that otherwise a force of good, the Duke of Sussex has disappointed experts with his speech about raising voice for the war-torn region. Dr Dunlop tells MailPlus that Harry was a bit behind the curve this week. She said, "I genuinely have no issue with the pair, I think they do good work. They have certainly been acknowledged for their work with this award. But I found the whole Hollywood aspect of the event, given what was going on in Ukraine, a bit insensitive. That is not their fault, that is Hollywood in its own kind of love bubble." Host Jo Elvin said, "But they could have had a word about it maybe." The royal commentator responded, "They could have toned it down a bit because there was Harry in his tux and he went, 'We all stand by Ukraine.' I thought I want you to do more in this instance, Harry. Give us something. A lot of people are feeling impotent, and it felt fewer words and more action in this moment I wanted from Harry." There he was slightly navel-gazing, saying he was meant to be with his wife because together they understand injustice and they listen to people who are not listened to. It jarred for me, slightly. Although I think they are generally a force for the good, it felt like they were behind the curve on this. During their NAACP Awards acceptance speech, Prince Harry and wife Meghan Markle also talked about Ukraine. Harry said, "Before I begin, we would like to acknowledge the people of Ukraine who urgently need our support as a global community. I think it's safe to say I come from a very different background to my incredible wife, yet our lives were brought together for a reason. We share a commitment to a life of service, a responsibility to confront injustice and a belief that the most overlooked are often the most important to listen to." Earlier this week, the Queen along with Prince William and Prince Charles donated an undisclosed amount for the Ukrainian cause. Meghan asked, "Can we meet halfway?" when Charles offered to walk her down aisle. According to royal expert Robert Hardman, when the Prince of Wales stepped up to save the day for his future daughter-in-law, she responded with, "Can we meet halfway?" When Prince Charles asked Meghan Markle if he could walk her down the aisle at her 2018 nuptials to Prince Harry, she reportedly asked him, "Can we meet halfway?" according to a royal expert. Robert Hardman discussed the events leading up to the royal wedding which prompted the Duke of Cornwall to step up and offer to walk his future daughter-in-law down the aisle at St. George's Chapel. Meghan's mother Doria Ragland had flown in from California to be at the wedding and was the only member of Meghan's family present following her father's antics just days before the big day. Thomas Markle had been persuaded by a news agency to pose for staged photos which showed him preparing for his daughter's big day. But when the ruse was exposed, he suddenly announced he was not coming to the wedding to spare the couple any further embarrassment, but it then emerged he was in a Mexican hospital being treated for serious heart problems. Eager to save the day for his future daughter-in-law, the Prince of Wales offered to step in and said he would be honored to escort Meghan up the aisle, Hardman wrote in the Daily Mail. But according to one friend, Meghan simply responded with, "Can we meet halfway?" Hardman wrote, "Here was an indicator that this was no blushing bride, but a confident, independent woman determined to make a grand entrance on her own." The couple have hit the headlines in the 4 years since their wedding, making the bombshell announcement in 2020 that they would be leaving their roles as senior members of the royal family and move